And that's the sacred point. That's the sacred point. So when gods come, they come in three. So as they manifest from Amun, Atun, and Atum, and that would represent the 3 and 1, or the 1 and 3. But that's an interesting section that you referred us to. The 219, if we kept on reading, it said the mind is the top half of the circle of space, matter, and time, and sex is the bottom half of lust, pleasure, and desires. So mind is 9, and sex in that form would be 6. Verse 220. So mind is mental, control your mind, and think it's mine. Verse 221. The two major powers that exist in the universe and in any living being are mind, M-I-N-D, mind, M-I-N-E, or mind and sex. By sex is meant pleasure or feeling. So you have feelings, mental and feelings, body. The two are opposites. You have to give up mine or my own mind to receive from another or their mind or their own mind. Mind is the positive and sex is the negative. Mind is the motivator and sex is the activator. Mind gives one knowledge or mental power, and sex gives one's physical power. Sex is all about the physical senses. That is what when you, a female, is ovulating. She shapeshifts, or her senses become heightened. Yes, she actually changes the way she looks physically. When the two persons are properly balanced in a living being in accordance with nature and position on the circle, or the planet Earth Geb, which is the weight of this Pa-Nun or Geb, the planet is 6 sextillion tons. The number 6 followed by 21 ciphers. So sex equals 6. Well, when the two powers are properly balanced in the living being in accordance with its nature, the position on the circle, that being, will produce what is necessary for its survival and well-being. Mind represents life, and sex represents death. Without mind, one would have no consciousness. Now, this is an upgrade, and this is also in the Holy Tablets, and it's a clear explanation, and this is also in the 9 Ball. And this is the part of the Alphamation which Amanubi Rakata really came to teach. So that's the period of time that we're in, the hereafter doctrine. So from 1970 to the year 2000, that was the first half of an hour that was mentioned in the book of Revelations, the 8th chapter, the first verse. There was silence in the heaven, the space of a half an hour. That half an hour is symbolic of 30 years. Now we're in the second half hour that brings us up to the whole hour. So from 2000 to 2030, the hereafter doctrine. So we're finally at the point where we are able, or should be able, having studied the things that he gave us, to accept what it is that he came to teach.
Get it in now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. It's coming out of Black Book, chapter 1, scroll 2, verse 19. And I'll read the question of the Anu is the original God of the Bible? The answer, yes. Above all the other gods and all the seed of the Mesopotamian Utnapishtim called Noah and Adapha, called Enoch in their Bible and Idris in their Quran, were loyal to Anu. Question, then what happened? They turned away and famine struck their land, so they went to Baal, the cause of the famine, in their own land to worship Baal, the fallen son of Enlil, who himself was an Adonai, master, from Adon, a lesser deity than the Yahwehan. Okay, my question is, when it says Baal, the fallen son of Enlil, and we know Baal is just a title that means like Lord or Master, but when it says the fallen son of Enlil, my question is, who is this son of Enlil and why is he considered fallen?
Okay, while on Earth, and this is discussed in the Scroll of Oz, because remember now the actual fact is just a few of them that's out, but during the readings that we had, discusses more of the actual facts to us. Now, in the reading, it was explained how Enlil got caught up with the Pleiadians that was on the planet Earth and started mixing and having sex with them, and as well as his sons. Now, when the question was asked earlier about the introduction to the Black Book, one of the reasons why the Adama Project was incomplete is because brother rose up against brother. Enlil's sons rose up against Enki's sons, and basically their dispute was over the uncontrolled crossbreedings, whereas the beings that was in their image and after their likeness could tie their genetics back to the Khaibitu. The Khaibitu would be the angelic beings, as you would refer to them in the Bible, but these would be the higher of these beings. So on Risk, there's 3 stages of a Riskian, and the highest of that stage would be, as we were taught, the Agigi, and those beings would be felt, but they would not be seen. Now, when ether diffuses, and an Etherian, then as an Etherian, when they descend in density level to become Etherian, then the ether diffuses, and then an Anutu is born, or Riski is born. Those would be whole light beings. The Etherians are whole light beings. All right. Now, when they come here to Earth, we would see them as spiritual beings to us because we are at a slower mood of vibration. All right. So when it's talking about they've fallen, as the Master always taught us, the longer they stay here, that they would become more physical. So they got caught up into the delicacies that was here on Earth. Same thing that Enlil got caught up with the Hindus. Enki got caught up with the Hindus. Enlil got caught up with the Pleiadians. And all of these were different species of extraterrestrials that was on the planet because the planet Earth, because the other life forms in the solar system was destroyed when the crash occurred into Meldic, and Earth was made a replica of Meldic, as well as given the environment for multiple extraterrestrial beings to dwell here. So there's more on these stories yet to give us. Did that answer your question?
Sure. Power had many as Zuhudi.